Hello, beautiful sister, and welcome to Around the Kitchen Table. I'm Laura Island, and today I want to invite you into something that feels both fierce and tender, wild and wise, a conversation that's wrapped in fire and moonlight, because right now we are in a threshold. Beltane is on its way. We are in that beautiful portal, and the new moon is quietly rising this Sunday. The earth is blooming, and the skies are softening, and it's time for joy and time for vision. So let's explore both. So, hello, hello. The fire is rising, and you feel her. Beltane marks that kind of wild, joyful midpoint between the spring and the summer, a time when the earth is turned on, tuned in, and overflowing with life force. It's the time of dancing barefoot, of flower crowns and sacred unions, and it's the time to laugh, to love, and to let your body feel good again. I don't know about you, it's that kind of sensual time where we kind of find our way back into our body after the winter. This week has been all about kind of body scrubs and kind of waxing and kind of, oh my God, the toenails and everything that's needed to kind of look over. But it's not just about sex or desire, right? It's about your aliveness. It's about letting the joy back into your bones. So many of us have been frozen, not just winter frozen, but like in life, we're stuck in survival. So this is your permission to thaw, to turn toward the fire that's actually already burning within you, the one that never went out, even when the world felt maybe too cold. So the whisper of the new moon around the corner, along with this, Beltane fire that's dancing around us, is so powerful. And she comes this Sunday, the dark sky, the deep breath, the sacred pause. And I think she's here to remind us this time that even as we bloom outward, we're still invited to listen to that quiet wisdom within us. So the new moon is a time to reset, to plant seeds, to tune into the dreams that we've been too busy to hear. So what happens when we bring both together? When we let the Beltane be our fire and the new moon be our compass? We move from the deepest part of ourselves. We don't just burn brightly, we burn with intention. We don't just bloom, we root first. This feels like such a powerful time for us to truly dive into, not just, oh, I want to kind of create this thing in the world, but it's like, how am I showing up for myself first? I had a beautiful conversation with a client this week, and we were talking about, well, I asked her the question, and the question was, how much do you love yourself? What does self-love mean to you? And there's no judgment here. She was like, I don't really have any idea what that even looks like or what that even means, which was powerful. And then I was like, okay, so if I change the word love to value, and you had to put yourself on a scale in your home of where you value yourself, one being I am bottom of the pile, perhaps don't even feature in everyday kind of existence because the kids come first, the husband comes first, the career, the business, what I'm doing for food, how I'm going to shop, what I'm going to cook for dinner, whether the washing needs doing. Like, where do I find myself on that scale? 10 being, I'm right there. Like, I value myself so much that I put myself first over everything. And actually, that's not selfish. So I kind of came to this kind of conclusion with her that, actually, value is the scale to which we value ourselves on. Self-love is the kind of goal. That's where we want to get to, where we just love ourselves unconditionally, no matter what. Not because we look a certain way or we are a certain way or we show up a certain way, just because we are who we are. And self-care is like the routine, the rhythm to get there. So your body already knows. It knows how to hold both the fire and the the water. It knows how to root into the earth. It knows how to have pleasure and stillness. It knows how to have celebration and reflection. And it also knows the yes and the sacred pause. That is our feminine way. That is the dance of life. But too often we get caught in this still very patriarchal, male dominated world. You know, we wanted equality, right? We spoke up for equality. We were ready to be equal to men, you know. We wanted it all, we got it all, and now we're doing it all and we're exhausted. And then we kind of hit menopause. Our cortisol levels are already sky high and rocketing through the roof. And then we hit menopause and we're like, wow, what hit us then? So if we were to truly come back to valuing ourselves, truly come back to what is it to live in a cycle, in a rhythm, not just with our monthly cycle. I don't have a monthly cycle anymore. I had a hysterectomy at 40 and I'm now just knocking on the door of 50, you know, but what is it that we are doing to create that magic in our lives every day? How can we celebrate the seasons? How can we live more cyclically in our lives? How can we flow more with the moon? How can we flow more with the seasons? One of the ways that we can do that is to value ourselves enough to put ourselves on the calendar. It's full moon. What am I going to do now? It's new moon. What am I going to do now? Well, not even what am I going to do? How am I going to be? How do I want to show up for myself? So I'm going to offer you this little ritual moment. So if you are somewhere safe and still, do not do this if you are driving whilst listening. Close your eyes for a moment. Place your hand gently on your heart and one on your womb and take a deep, deep breath. The biggest breath that you've taken all day. Breathe it in. Just let it out with a beautiful sigh. And maybe just for good measure, take another one. Beautiful deep breath in. And a beautiful sigh out. And just whisper to yourself, I welcome the fire of joy. I welcome the fire of joy. I trust the stillness of the moon. I trust the stillness of the moon. And I am blooming in my own rhythm. I am blooming in my own rhythm. Let yourself just feel that. Let it move through your body. And maybe in this quiet moment, let's just take time for a little two-way prayer, two-way kind of conversation to happen between you and spirit. Asking the questions that are burning in this fire with yourself right now. What do you need clarity on? And just listen to the wisdom that comes. Don't make the words wrong. Don't think that you're just overthinking it and it's coming from somewhere else. Just let them arise. I'm not here to be your guru. Nobody should be your guru. You have all the wisdom you need within you. You just need to listen. Give yourself a chance to listen long enough and deep enough. So let yourself feel that. This is not a performance. It's a deep remembering of who you really truly are. Underneath all the names, out of all of the job roles, you are wise and magical because you're a woman. So here are 5 ways to honor this magic of this time, this Beltane time. Light a candle. If you can find a red candle or an orange candle, even better, for your fire, for your desire, for your yes. Give yourself a chance to really be with that light, be with that fire. Write a new moon intention, one that feels really soft and true. So not one that feels like you have to work at it, not one that feels like it's something that you have to overthink. You know, what is your gentle new moon intention for yourself to bring about that beautiful value in your own life? Make a flower crown, maybe. Adorn yourself like the goddess you are. Did you ever make daisy chains and wear them around your head when you were a girl? Do that. If you've got girls, go do it with them. Make a beautiful flower crown. Move your body freely. No choreography, just joy. If you can put some headphones on, or better still, crank up the sound system you have at home. That shows my age, the sound system. Go outside, get your feet on the grass, move your body. Your body knows what to do. Just let it move freely. It needs to feel the joy. You know, when you were a kid and you just like with gay abandon ran around, you didn't care how you looked or who was watching you, you just did it. Go do that. Be that today. Rest in the dark. Let the new moon hold what you're not maybe ready to name yet. Find a way to just rest. And if you want an additional one, get with sisters, get with women. This is such a powerful time. It's a powerful time of union, but it's a powerful, fertile time for you to be with each other. And if you don't have that sisterhood around you, or you can't find that in your own community right now, create it. Invite some women around to hang out, invite some women to go for a walk. And if that's all too much, start a text thread, invite some friends into a little text group and just drop in a message. How are they today? Start beginning to communicate with each other. You don't have to choose, right? You can dance and be still. You can rise and reflect. You can burn and bloom and breathe all at the same time. Our emotions are interchangeable. So make sure you look after yourself. Make sure you recognize the big emotions that are rising in this time. These times where we go through transitions, the portals that we go through, the equinoxes, the solstices, the cross quarters, the moons, they're all what helps you to really lean into who you are as a woman. So give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give yourself a chance. And please remember that looking after yourself is not selfish. It is the most powerful, potent thing you can do for everybody in your life. I had a little story. I'm going to call it a story, analogy. Yesterday, somebody shared with me the cup of coffee story. So basically, you're walking down the road and you have a cup of coffee in your hand, and you are wandering down the road, and someone knocks your elbow, and what comes out of the cup is coffee, right? If that's what's in the cup. But what often comes out of us is what we're holding without saying. So if in our cup we are actually carrying anger and grief and sadness, but our face is masking this happy place, then someone does something, they just knock you, and all of those emotions come out that feel really, really big and perhaps not in line with, I always say, the punishment isn't in line with the crime, right? It's like I just did something silly, but actually I got both barrels because, and we all do it. I do it as a mum with my kids sometimes, like they'll have done the washing up, which is great, and they'll have left something on the pot. And rather than being grateful that they've done the washing up, the only thing I can focus on is my rage because I've had a shit day somewhere else. Someone's upset me or something's wobbled me, and that's what they get. And then I find myself apologizing because I feel shit that that's happened. Can you resonate with this? I know that you can because we all do it. So the way to make sure your cup is full of the good stuff is to give yourself time to look after yourself, to bring your awareness back to yourself, to ask yourself, what do I need in every single moment? What is right for me right now? We're not taught to deal with big emotions. None of us as human beings, but certainly not here in the UK. We're stiff upper lip Britain. That's what we have to do. We're stiff upper lip, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to carry on rising from that place of stiff upper lip. I was taught, pull yourself together. What are you crying for? My kids have been brought up completely differently to that, and their kids will be brought up differently still. So I didn't know that's where this was going right now, but it feels relevant, so I'm going to share it for somebody who's listening. Drop a comment wherever you've listened, and share with me what does this bring up for you? What does this rise in you? And how can you honor that through this time? How can you honor yourself through this time of Beltane and the new moon? So let me tell you why all of this matters. And sister, before we close today, I want to speak to something deeper. Because yes, Beltane is a celebration. Yes, it's joy and fire and full permission to come alive. But for many of us, as I've just said about value, that aliveness isn't easy. It's something we've really had to fight to reclaim. I know what it's like to push through life in a linear way. Just as I said to you, you know, like we're in this masculine portal to strive, to achieve, to do everything right. Like we have to do it right as a mum, a partner, a businesswoman, a caretaker, a dream holder. We have to do it right somehow, or we're wrong. We're not just keeping the home anymore. You know, many of us are holding the income, the emotional load, the logistics of everyday life. And somewhere in that, we lose ourselves. We become so busy being everything for everyone else that we forget who we really are. That's where the burnout comes in. That's where the joy fades. And that's where our feminine rhythm, our sacred cyclical nature gets buried. So I'm going to end with reminding you that we have this beautiful sanctuary that, you know, I've just begun to create. And I'm looking to co-create it with 100 founding members, the weavers that come in the first instance that hear this yes and say, you know what, I want to be in this place. It's not just a place to gather. It's really a space to come home to your truth, to your rhythm, to the parts of who you were never meant to, you know, fit into a linear world. Inside the sanctuary, we're reclaiming our cycles, our power, our softness, and our wild. And we're healing the places where we've had to shrink to survive. And we're doing it together. It's a place to rise, held by the support of other women walking this journey with you. And because healing doesn't happen alone, right? It doesn't happen in isolation. How many times have you thought, I've done the work, and then you get into a relationship and it all comes up again, you know? So it's about doing it together in sisterhood. So if this Beltane is stirring something in you, if you feel the spark, if you're longing for more than just surviving, if you're ready to reconnect with the rhythm of who you really are, then come find us in the sanctuary. The doors are opening on the 1st of May in this beautiful Beltane energy, but we're there building in a little group already, and that powerful energy is so sweet. So come find us in the sanctuary. Come and remember, we're here. We're waiting, and we're going to walk each other home. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for remembering your light. May this Beltane light you up. May the new moon guide your heart, and may you always trust your flow. Until the next time, with fire in my heart and love in my voice. This is Laura, and you've been listening to Around the Kitchen Table. Take care. Bye for now.